Let's get some order. Okay, this is a lot even for me to take in.
Name and name only.
And
Those
she
are
can go
mine.
with her brother, because I'm going with my dad.
Precious.
Oh.
You can go with your brother.
But you're
Now
my
I get
daughter.
it. Your identity that quickly
Just like
of who you are is stripped from you. That person, your protector. Because no matter what.
Hello, welcome once again to Look and Live. You're here with Pastor James DeVallon.
I am Andrea.
We just want to welcome you. We are back
Welcome.
after being put on hold for 2 weeks. So, guys, we got one for you tonight. We're gonna go to Paternity Court. All right. I wanted to bring my wife in for this one because I think it's time for us to start getting into some family discussions and other stuff that might be going on, and I think this will set a really good precedence for that. So how about we get into the heart of this thing, okay?
Right. You and your brother, Mr. Hunt, are suing your mother and your father for a paternity test. You claim that just 2 weeks ago they dropped a bomb during an argument. You say in the heat of the moment they inadvertently revealed that it was possible your dad, Mr. Jacobs, is not your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jacobs, you say since the time they were babies, you are the only father your children have ever known.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Razor, tell us about the argument you and your brother overheard.
I started to hear a lot of noise in my mom's bedroom. He coming out the room, going to the kitchen saying, well, those ain't my kids anyway, so I was doing you a favor, and left out the door. Yes, really? Yes, really.
Your mother made a comment that really didn't sit too well with me, and it hurt me. You guys didn't hear the whole comment.
You know I was just mad. You know I was mad. I just was just mad. It was out of
So,
anger.
Ms. Hammonds, you're admitting that in the heat of the argument, you said this statement. You made this statement to Mr. Jacobs that you're not their father anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
But it was just in the heat of the moment, you said.
Yes, ma'am.
So it was only 2 weeks ago that this all came to a head. 2 weeks ago.
Well, Your Honor, I have to say this. It's been longer than 2 weeks ago. It's just that this argument sort of brought everything out.
And
Your
when
Honor,
you heard that, immediately you felt...
I was in shock. I was just like, how you just gonna, despite the argument, how you just gonna leave without saying bye, hug? They argue, that's cool. But when you got your children and you arguing with your spouse, that don't got nothing to do with us. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying.
Your Honor.
Mr. Hunt, you'd like to add something?
That's factual. It's exciting to see where this one is going.
It's more sad to me. I get what you mean. You're not meaning like really excited, but it's sad because it's just like a lot of times when people are hurt or when people are facing a situation that they don't know how to deal with, they say things that they don't mean, or things come out in such a fashion that someone else gets damaged. And that's what's really sad, I think, in watching this, because at the end of the day, it says here, Hector Hunt hopes the DNA results prove Richard is his biological father. But it's just like out of this whole moment. You don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see.
But sometimes too, doing those type of discussions, the truth come out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think all truths like that need to come out? Like, I guess they should be.
Yeah.
They should know, but it's how it comes out and what the damage that it does. You know, the way that, like, people who are hurting typically just go through situations. I mean, go have conversations that end up blowing up, and it's a damaging memory. Like, I have memories of things that have been said to me about me or that I overheard that were just, they're hard, and you remember them.
Yeah.
The sad thing about those things, and so they'll never forget this, and they're older.
Yeah.
So
still
their whole life, they thought something. It's interesting. Let's see.
Something?
Yes, Yana. I was sitting in the living room playing video games with my friends. I overheard what he said, and it messed me up. And when he walked out the house, I was sitting there in a state of shock.
So you overheard this as well?
Yes, I did. Me and my friends, actually. And I was just sitting there like, whoa.
We was having a get together. Everybody was at the house.
So, Mr. Jacobs, did you make that comment?
Yes, I did, Your Honor, but I don't believe my children heard the whole comment.
It had me so stressed out, Your Honor, where I went on Facebook and I thought the whole world was against me, and I posted, I'm crying gangster tears.
And you know I'm the stronger one. Even though I'm the little sister, I act like the big sister, but for him to make that statement was just ridiculous.
All
right, Mom,
because
so
they didn't hear the
for him
whole
to make
comment.
that statement, why did you make that statement? Why did you say what you said for him to say what he said?
Because maybe he's not your father, Precious.
What
Maybe he's
what
not.
you mean?
Maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe he's not.
So what you was doing, Ma? What you?
Miss Hammonds,
May I just say
Excuse
something, please,
me,
Your Honor?
your
Excuse
daughter
me,
is asking for
maybe.
clarification. Is
I'm
it
26 years old, okay? This is the only man that I know for all my life. He's been there for my kindergarten graduation, my 6th grade graduation. How many men do you know sit in a delivery room with their daughter when they're having a baby, okay? For you to make that statement and for him to... Listen, is this...
That's a lot of pain.
I know.
That's a lot of pain. I couldn't imagine how they feel. She's 26 and she's the little sister. So the boy is older. The beauty of it is that it's hard to say, but like, it not hard to say. What I mean is it's hard for me to say that it might be a hard thing to sound in a sense. I mean, basically, the beauty of it is that they're older, so it's not like he's been harboring this resentment and he's been like making comments all the time, maybe in their private time, but you see his commitment to them. And like she said, he's been committed. He was in the delivery room, so he must truly see them as his own. But when she said what she said, and then it triggered him to respond in a certain way, and it's just like you see the pain there. And that's what's difficult with
how many years of investment this man had in their lives. So
26.
to him, that's just
well
amazing.
over 26 because she's
like 22.
She's 26. No,
26?
she said I'm 26.
And he's older, right?
And she said I'm the little sister. So
wow.
Is there something that you need to tell us? Is there something that you need to tell me?
Maybe.
Ms. Razor, Mr. Farmer, the man in question, has agreed to take a paternity test. And he's joining us from his hometown. We're here with Ms. Razor, and you agreed to take a DNA test.
Yes, I was at that cookout
Right, you
too.
said that this was your friend.
And
Just
that
one
they were-
second, Ms. Razor.
You didn't say you was sleeping
I'm sorry,
on her.
Mr. Farmer.
Wow.
Did you have a relationship with Ms. Hammonds?
You call this your brother?
Yes, we had a physical relationship. It wasn't a relationship.
You call that your brother?
Ms. Hammonds, were you intimate with Mr.
just
Farmer? Is
nasty.
what he's saying true?
That's
Yes,
Uncle
ma'am.
Tommy.
Yes, ma'am.
That's just nasty. That's just nasty.
Wow.
That is not my father. That's not my father.
Precious.
No,
There's a
no,
possibility I
no.
could be your father.
You never knew he.
This is a tough one.
and I think what the problem is that when it comes out in this fashion and form, I mean, it's never going to be something easy to deal with.
No.
It's never a discussion that's like, oh, let's sit down at the table, let's get it all right, the timing right and all that.
Yeah.
It's a discussion that I think will always be hard, but when the way that it happened, the way that it sparked their thought process is painful. It's going to work for their good in the end if they, understand the power of God and what God is capable of doing with a hurting soul. It will work. But the sad part is what they have to go through. So it's like we go through this journey sometimes and different things happen that are literally internal crises.
Yeah.
And in that internal crisis, they're going to go through some stuff.
Yeah.
And it's sad because as parents, we don't realize that we put our kids through stuff. We make decisions. And we put our children through stuff, or in our anger and our haste, we put our children through stuff. So
Very painful. Yeah. It's a lot of time invested in love and everything, man. It's very difficult. It's like sometimes you feel like, should we just stop this court session and everybody go home and leave things as they are? Or should we continue to discover what the truth is? That's a tough one because it's like the tension is really high in the room right now. It's like, oh man, do I really want to find out? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those tough things. Do you really want to see the truth? Especially when things seems to be turning in that direction. That's years of investment, man.
I think of it also, I see, she said it's Uncle Tommy. So they know this man who potentially could be the father, be Precious's father. So it makes it a lot different in that it's not like it's some stranger that she gets to say, okay, well, it's nice to meet you. Like she already has a relationship with Uncle Tommy that has its certain boundaries, has its limitations. She already has her way that she sees him. It's not like a stranger to me would feel better, because then you're starting from, you're gonna lay whole new ground, a whole new foundation. But this is like, so you've been in my face and you knew, she knew, and you knew, so it just feels like such a heavy betrayal.
Yeah, that's the word. It's just, boy.
He existed?
No, you right. I shouldn't have known you existed. Look what you're doing to my family.
I didn't do anything to your family.
Say this to you, Mr. Farmer.
It was already done.
When we leave this courtroom today, my son and daughter is going to be leaving with me, regardless to what that paper says.
And she can
Farmer
go
might
back
be
with
there
her
by
brother.
name and name only.
And
Those
she
are
can
mine.
go with her brother, because I'm going with my dad.
I love that integrity of this man, and even her as well.
Name and name only.
And
Those
she
are
can
mine.
go with her brother, because I'm going with my dad.
Precious.
Oh.
You can go with your brother.
But you're
Now
my
I get
daughter.
it. Now I get what she said. She can
She's
go with her brother
the
because
mother.
she's been, And this is what it is like. And looking at the mother though, I don't know if it's the immense amount of stress of all this coming out, but her heart is heavy too.
Yeah, you could tell she's.
Her heart, like, I mean, everyone is heavy, but like the mother is like she's sick inside right now. And I don't know if it's just this or if there's more to the story as
Maybe
to why
she's been holding
has...
this on for so long.
Oh, obviously. Yeah, for 26 years, if they're questioning it now. She has been holding it, but I mean, the whole intensity of the scene, I think it's just
Intense.
her face is, it's really sad. It's, it's speaking volumes.
You can go with your brother.
But you're my daughter.
I know.
Oh, let's get some order. Okay, this is a lot even for me to take in. And I do this daily. And I want you all to take a deep breath. We've got to get through this. Miss Hammonds, you do understand how your daughter feels at this point. She's introduced to this man as this is a family friend. She thought it was a brother-in-law. You called him Uncle Tommy. She had no idea that somewhere around the time she was conceived, you were in a sexual relationship with him.
Wow,
you
think
do
so?
understand that.
I think she looks like him too. I mean, like,
God
she
forbid.
looks like him. She looks like her mother and him.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, if you put the other guy up there, she probably looks like the other guy. I'm not gonna go Mari Povich.
Yeah, it's
on
kind
us.
of hard to tell.
You know, Mari. They put the faces side by side.
Yeah, I don't know.
They pulled a little Mari here.
Yeah, surely did. The noses are. I don't know. It's so much. I don't know.
The
features,
complexion.
the
But the other two, I mean, if you put people side by side, everybody
man.
starts to look alike, especially in a case like this.
That is tough.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Okay. In the case of Razor Hunt versus Jacobs Hammonds,
Oh, she looks
as
like
it
him
pertains
too.
to
Yeah, she does look more
26-year-old
like him.
Precious Razor,
So are you taking a
She
guess?
does look more like Mr. Jacobs.
You think so?
I think. Yeah, back it up just a smidge.
Yeah.
Not like,
to 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
She does.
you see that?
Oh, there's so much passion in her face. Oh my
Not
goodness.
passion, so much emotion.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, meant to say. Yeah.
6-year-old Precious Razor, Mr. Farmer,
Yes.
you are not her father.
Oh, my God. Oh! Oh,
Why
my
did she
God.
say it so slow? She did that on purpose.
She did that on purpose. You
Thank you.
are not.
Thank you.
Oh! Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Miss Razor,
Oh, my God.
have a
Her
seat.
heart is heavy.
Oh, my God.
Both of you, have a seat.
Oh, my God.
Sit down.
Oh, my God. Thank
Why
you,
did she
Jesus.
say it so slow?
Are you ready for the next result?
Thank you.
In the case of Razor Hunt versus Jacob Hammonds, as it pertains to 26-year-old Precious Razor, Mr. Jacobs, you
All the Father. You are the Father.
Aw.
She loves her.
are not
What?
her father.
What?
Yeah, not.
Wait, who? Why? Why'd they say you are? You are.
Are not her father.
No.
This is my daughter right here.
No.
This is my baby right here.
No.
We're gonna get through this, all right?
Unbelievable.
You hear me?
That's just such a broken identity.
That is so messed up.
You know, like all your life you think one thing, and your identity that quickly
Just like
of who you are
Vanish.
is stripped from you. That person, your protector. Because no matter what, no matter what, no matter how much he loves on her, no matter how much it's always going to be this longing, this brokenness, this you're not my father.
I did not know it.
Yeah.
But it's a biological difference, and I think some people, it's gonna be tough to work through it, but
Absolutely. They
can work, they can get through it. It's just like you come to discover this reality that you thought wasn't.
It's how many years? 26 years.
Goodness.
Oh.
Mr. Jacobs, please try to sit her down.
Sit down right here.
Should she
Sit
be
down.
okay?
No, leave
Come on, sit
me.
down. Judge got to finish reading your paper.
It's like a broken security.
Oh, yeah, take this.
As it pertains to 33-year-old Hector Hunt. Mr. Jacobs, you are not Hector's father.
Oh, you is scandalous.
But you don't know. It's other things.
Jerome, could you go please see if you could help Mr.
Scandalous.
Hunt?
Oh,
Let me get my kids, man. Let me get my children.
she is scandalous.
What do we do with this?
Wow. That's painful
It
to
is.
watch. You know, it's some things we bring on ourselves and it's some things we bring on other people. It's so important to take in situations like this and not even point blame and fingers. You can obviously see in her face, the mother's face, she knew he wasn't the father of any of those children. Her face was so sunk and sullen from the beginning. I think she knew hands down that he wasn't the father of any of those children. And they can come up out of it. You can come up out of anything. That's the beauty of the Lord.
Yeah,
the
that's
joy
what
of
I was
the
gonna
Lord
say.
is my strength.
There's gonna be a lot of forgiveness that has to take place here, first from God and forgiving one another, and it's just it can be healed. It's just let's be real, it's tough. It's tough for that family. It's tough for any family who go through anything like this. So what should have been done to prevent all of this was the mother should have been honest.
Well, I
maybe she
also
wasn't
understand
sure.
the protection factor. Because the one that she brought on, he wasn't even their father. Right? So the protection factor of thinking this man is willing, this man is loving, obviously.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
get it.
man
Yeah, he steps up.
who knew it was questionable because that's what he said. He knew it wasn't, he knew it, but so why would you want to break your kid's spirit? You just think you're going to take that secret to your grave. That's the plan in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Nobody says. There's some things that we hold because we don't want to hurt somebody that we literally say, I'm taking that to my grave. I mean, so that's one, but and then here we go in a moment of anger, it comes out. So what would the best thing have been to do? Literally when they were tiny little children, I believe, let them know, like, hey,
There's a possibility.
they should have run the test
Yes.
early when they were young enough to have that discussion, and they could have grown up knowing he's not my father, but he's my father.
That's right.
versus all their life and it comes out in a heated argument and that pain versus them being able to say, because they would have had a different experience. They would have had the experience of, he's not my father, but he's the best father I could have ever known.
That's right.
They would have had that that experience versus this is the only father I've ever known, but now I found out he's not my father.
That's right.
He's a good man. He's been a great father, but he's not my father.
Yeah.
So we don't understand sometimes when we think we're holding on to a secret and taking it to our grave, we think it's healthy, we think it's helpful, but it's actually very destructive because what does the Bible say? Everything that's done in the dark will come forth to the light.
That's right.
Like you can't hold secrets.
No.
Like there are some things that will go to somebody's grave, but eventually, if it doesn't come out during this season of life, it will come out on Judgment Day.
Amen.
Right?
Amen. That's right. Your sin will find you out. We may get away with stuff for a long time, but eventually it's gonna come face to face with us. You know, she's privileged enough that this happened here, and like you said, in the judgment, you don't want to wait for God to expose that. It's just, you know, at least now they can work their issues and deal with one another, which is significant. You know, I thought of what the book of James
you gotta
says.
wonder about working those issues. I mean, you gotta pray that their hearts get softened because right now it's stone walls. Stone walls.
Yeah, how are they gonna overcome this anger and resentment they have toward their mom?
Absolutely.
They can do it, but it's not gonna be easy. You know?
And it's almost, to be honest, it's almost better that he wasn't any of their father because at least they have each other to hold on to. And because if it was one, it's like, well, you ain't even his kid, you know?
Yeah.
So there's so many little factors here that God knew. And my one thing I always say is nothing shocks God. Nothing. God knew every situation that was going to happen. So when you find yourself in a crisis, because this could have triggered some people who might watch this, not necessarily for that same experience, but an experience where it was just like, wow, that hit me like a ton of bricks. Wow, that was painful. Like I didn't expect it.
Yep.
It wasn't just like, where'd that come from? You know, it's one of those comments like, where'd that come from? And then, is that real? You know, and then all of this, and then the truth comes out. So just know nothing shocks God. There's nothing you can't come forth from. And God's love, this is why he said, your mother might forsake you, your father might forsake you, but I will be there for always. And that's paraphrased, but the beauty of having a relationship with Christ and that hope is knowing that he'll never leave us nor forsake us, and he will fill our every need. He satisfies the longing of every living thing.
Yeah. Is there any hope for the mother? What will that God?
I think it might be relief right now. I really believe that she won't even realize how finally it's out and I can move on from here.
I'm free.
I'm free. Yeah, I don't have this burden on my back anymore.
Yeah, it is a burden. So you don't have to carry that load. Now you know the kids know. Now you can try to get their forgiveness. You know, re-heal, try to build that relationship. You know, it can be done. By the grace of God, it could be done. And I was thinking of James chapter 5, where it speaks about confessing your faults one to another, and pray for one another that you may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So this idea of confessing and praying for each other, I think that's what she should have done. She should have confessed early, not in the heat of the moment. But again, like you said, that secure home, you know, the love component was
thinking that that's what's going to be the safest way to keep them from having heartache, and you don't realize it's actually dangerous. Yeah.
What say you? Comment below. This was a tough one. We got more to come. Her whole channel is full of this stuff. So yeah, very, very interesting. I think this is kind of stuff we're gonna start doing as well, bringing some family discussions in there. So let us know what you guys think. Final thought?
God bless you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.